What's the game plan for the San Francisco 49ers to win Super Bowl 58? What's going on, football fans? Bang, bang, Niner gang, the Niner faithful. It's Mitch back here with the Super Bowl game plan for the 49ers in Super Bowl 58. How they can raise the Lombardi Trophy for the first time in a long time. Before I get to my game plan and how the Niners can win Super Bowl 58, spike the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more NFL and Super Bowl breakdowns just like this. And get in the comment section and let me know the one thing the Niners, Shanahan, Purdy, and the bunch need to accomplish to beat the Chiefs and win the Super Bowl. Kittle, spike that like button. Let's go. Let's start with the point of emphasis for the 49ers. And that to me is starting this game hot, starting this game with energy, starting this game with passion, something they have not done against the Packers, something they were not able to achieve against the Detroit Lions. That is starting the game well. It sounds simple, but it is simply effective, especially for the team like the Niners. Think of the Niners and what they're best at. It's running the ball. It's their run scheme, it's their running back, it's their offensive line when running the ball. It's the play action and all the different ways they can move the ball when the run game gets activated and they're ahead. And then defensively, what's the strength? Four-man rush, getting to the quarterback, sacking the quarterback, pressuring the quarterback. But it's really hard to do that when you're playing from behind. That's why their defense has looked so much worse. That's why their offense has been put on their heels. And thankfully, they've been able to come back in these games. And they've been able to make the clutch plays at the key moments. But you do not want to be able to do that, or have to do that, I should say, in the Super Bowl against the best team you will play, the best team in the AFC, and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. You don't want to have to come from behind. Why? Because the Chiefs are better when they're playing from ahead this year. They're not the same team they used to be where they could just throw bombs away and get back in the game in a flash. They're no longer that, for 49er fans, those Golden State Warrior teams that just chuck threes and splash everywhere, right? They're the team that is methodical offensively, throws the ball short for yards after catch. Low yards per attempt and yards after the catch is crucial for this offense. It's a lot of horizontal attack. It's a lot of running game. It's a lot of balance. It's a lot of time of possession. It's a lot of eating the clock. It's a lot of Mahomes making magic on third or fourth down. And their offense, quite frankly, is not as good as the Packers or as explosive as the Packers. It's not as good or as balanced as the Lions. They don't have as good of an offensive line as the Lions. They don't have as good of an offensive line as the Packers. They might have the better quarterback. They might have the better tight end. But they don't have a lot of aspects on this offense that's really built to play from behind, because the offensive line, Joe Thuney is out, and the tackles are not good. Like, they can be exposed if they're playing from behind and you're rushing the quarterback and you know it's pass. So you have to take that away from them early in this game as best as you can. Easier said than done, as I said, in the Chiefs game plan, where the Chiefs want to get ahead. The Chiefs want to force Brock Purdy to beat them and not Christian McCaffrey. The Chiefs want to be able to stay balanced to attack the Niners' biggest weakness defensively, their run defense. So how did the Niners emphasize this point of emphasis? Well, they have to come out, especially defensively, with creative ways of attacking the Chiefs and getting early stops and throwing the Chiefs off a little bit. The Chiefs are going to be game planning and preparing for what the Niners have been doing all year. Four-man rush, soft zone, quarters coverage, cover three, same stuff we see all year. But how can Steve Wilks flip the script in the biggest game of the year to give them an early edge to put the Niners in front? That, to me, is the key to the game. And therefore, you can win time of possession, which you haven't been able to do in the first two playoff games. You've been playing unconventional for the 49ers. You've been put on your heels. You've been on the ropes. Somehow you fought back. But you don't want to have to do that in this game. So let's start off with the defensive game plan, which I think is the most critical game plan of all four phases for either team. The offense of the Chiefs, the offense of the Niners, the defense of the Chiefs, the defense of the Niners is the biggest X factor. It's the unit we don't really know what we're going to get. And this is why I think they need to come out with a different game plan. And this is the way I would do it. So you want to force the issue against this Chiefs team. I think the most critical error everyone makes about the Chiefs is they think they're still playing the Chiefs from 3 years ago when they're not. They're playing a different offense. And so you want to force the issue. You want to play aggressive. And you want to play with the thought in your mind that you have the best offense in the league. Because you do. So if you're the 49ers, you want to extend this game. The Chiefs want to shorten this game. The Chiefs want to possess the ball. The Chiefs want to keep your offense on the sidelines. You want to take your chances and force the issue defensively. So you play aggressive. You've got to be able to, early in this game, make these receivers uncomfortable, throw off the timing of Patrick Mahomes, bump these receivers at the line, set the edge on defense, fly to the football, and hit. Bring physicality and bring speed. Well, this is what we've seen from the Niners at their best defensively. You see those linebackers flying around. You see them hitting people. You see them setting the edge, and you see them playing aggressively downhill. So in the run game, keeping that extra man in the box, I think the best way that they're able to stop the Chiefs' running game, which they've had issues with all year, is playing more five-man defensive fronts. The Niners have been very satisfied about playing four-man front, wide nine defense, classic Seattle defense, with two safeties deep. In this game, I think the best way for the Niners to go, especially on early downs, I'm not saying on 3rd and 10, but on 1st and 10, on 2nd and 6, I would go towards a five-man defensive front. Put Javon Kinlaw at nose tackle and have your 3 defensive tackles on the field, play more one safety high, force these receivers to beat especially man-to-man coverage, and allow your corners to play physical coverage. Charvarius Ward, Lenore, these guys, I would say, have the advantages over the receivers of the Chiefs. The receivers of the Chiefs are nothing impressive. You've got Rashee Rice, who's a rookie, who's better against zone than man. And you have guys like MVS and guys like, I don't know, Justin Watson. I'm not really concerned about those players beating you down the field. If they're going to beat you, they beat you. So take away the run, take away the quick passes, try to force Mahomes to hold the ball as much as possible, and that will allow your pass rush to get home. And that will allow your biggest advantage in the game to take shape in this game, early in this game, which is the matchups up front, the defensive front of the Niners versus the offensive line of the Chiefs. The offensive line of the Chiefs has played really well throughout the playoffs. They protected Mahomes well. But I actually think this is a case of scheme, and this is a case of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid protecting their offensive line, getting the ball out quick, throwing the ball really short, throwing the ball quickly, getting to the first read really fast. And that's because defenses early in games have been playing soft zone coverage, not a lot of blitzing, not a lot of aggression, and not a lot of even five-man rushes. If the Niners are sending 5 guys, first of all, it's hard to run the ball because you've got a hat on a hat across the offensive line. If they're going to play their multi-tight end looks, well, then it's a little bit easier. You won't be as exposed in the back end because you'll at least have one safety over top of the single receiver side. And so I think the Niners should lean into what Steve Wilks really was supposed to bring to this defense, which was his preference for aggressive defense. And I think this is what's thrown the Niners off this year defensively from a game plan and defensive coordinator standpoint, is they've been trying to play a Robert Saleh. They've been trying to play a D'Amico Ryan style of defense without that coordinator there. And this might just be the time for Steve Wilks to go to his game plan and his style of defense and take it to the Chiefs. So allow your pass rush to get home, playing tight coverage, bumping these receivers, and see if Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Armstead, and Hargrave can take advantage. Play more five-man fronts, more man, and more aggressive in the box to be able to stop the run. And that should be able to help you to not get gashed against the run and not give up quick, easy plays on 1st and 2nd down, which will set you up for success on 3rd down. And force Kansas City to throw the ball vertically down the field instead of where they've been most comfortable as of late, horizontally and underneath. And especially, you've got to take 3 guys out of the game. First, Isaiah Pacheco. You've got to stop the run, and you've got to tackle when he's in space. Second of all, you've got to take Rashee Rice out of the game, which means likely you want to put your best corner, Charvarius Ward, one of the best in football, against Rashee Rice. And then third, you want to take away the man, Travis Kelce, and especially on high leverage situations. He's going to catch his passes. He's going to make his plays. But on third down and in the red zone, you need to have doubles on him, and you need to try to take him out of the game as much as humanly possible. Make somebody else beat them. So Lenore should be shadowing Rice in the slot, and Ward should be shadowing Rice when he's outside. Let MVS, let the other guys, Hardman, whoever else they put out there, Gray, beat you. Anyone else. Armstead and Hargrave pushing the pocket and finding one-on-ones against their backup left guard, Allegretti, on third down. Stunts to the inside of the pocket, I think, is critical as well. And if Mahomes runs, make it count. Hit him. Finish the play. If Mahomes is going to run and that's how they're going to win the game, then that's fine. But don't let him extend those plays to make throws down the field. Make him actually have to run the ball instead of throwing the ball over your head. So that is the Niners' defensive game plan. It's different. It's not their typical four-man rush, wide nine style, two-man deep. That has not been working. The Packers have exposed it. The Lions have exposed it. With 2 weeks to prepare, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes will do the same. If you come out and you play the same style of defense, they're going to have a million different plays drawn up in order to have a successful game script. But if the Niners can surprise a little bit the Chiefs, especially early in this game, and gain the advantage and put the ball in the hands of their offense and get ahead in the game, the Chiefs are going to have a hard time coming back. So that's the defensive side of things. And then this is where the offense is able to finish this. First of all, run the ball. Run the ball with Christian McCaffrey, your best player on your team. Force the Chiefs to actually stop it. Not some illusion that they're going to stop it. Not that they have 8 men in the box. Not that they've got tight coverage on the outside. They're going to play formations and they're going to have looks where it looks like they're going to be able to stop the run. They did it to the Ravens, and they forced the Ravens out of their bread and butter, which is running the ball and powering the ball down people's throats and running the ball with Lamar Jackson. Don't get away from the run game simply based on the look or the formation of the defense. Now, luckily, the Niners are better equipped at actually throwing the ball in this game than the Ravens are because of their weapons. The Niners have much better weapons. The Niners are the best team at beating man coverage in football, and it's going to be really hard for Spags, no matter how good of a coordinator he is, to match up with that. If the Kansas City Chiefs have to be able to stop the run consistently, even if it's not going for like 6-7 yards per carry, even if it's just 4 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry, if they're consistently getting some yards against those fronts and keeping the offense out of 3rd and 8 plus, the Niners will take it. And they'll slowly, methodically move the ball, possess the ball down the field. And then they'll get some explosives out of their passing game from those heavy personnel packages. With the 2 backs, Juszczyk, McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle on the field, it's going to be hard for the Chiefs to match up, especially when you're running the ball left at the backup replacement player for Charles Omenihu, which is most likely going to be Mike Dana. He is more of a pass rush specialist than a run defender. The ability to run at him with Trent leading the way, with Juszczyk overpowering that side of the line of scrimmage will especially be handy for the Niners. And I think anytime they need it, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, run to the left and get those yards. And run the ball at Chris Jones. Wear him out. He is by far their best defensive lineman. And he has shown at times liability in the run game because he's having to play a lot of snaps and he's getting tired, or he's just not putting full effort to get to pass downs to give his full effort on pass downs. Wear down Chris Jones early in this game and run at the replacement of Omenihu on that left side. Off of the running game, make them establish that running game, make them defend that running game. That's when you pull out the play actions. And then later in this game, 2nd, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, you can hit them with some early down play actions where you're able to get Kittle one-on-one on a linebacker, or McCaffrey on a linebacker, or Ayuk one-on-one, or Debo one-on-one. Then you hit the screens. Then you hit, they're going to give the end around looks to Debo as well. Find a way to get the ball to Debo on offense. 3 to 5 runs in this game, 3 to 5 manufactured touches through the passing game, whether it's a screen or it's a quick pass. Find a way to manufacture the ball to Debo. Run the ball with your best player, throw the ball to your second best player. Everything else will open up from there. Double Chris Jones in all passing situations. Now, the Chiefs might be bringing 5 at times, which therefore you might have to keep in McCaffrey to block or Kittle to block at times in order to chip or give a double team for that extra second for Purdy, potentially. But you want to try to avoid those passing down situations as much as possible, which means you have to be efficient on first and second down. And you don't want to allow Spags to get into those situations where he's blitzing from all angles and hitting you with a bunch of different things. And if you're Brock Purdy, you don't want to try to make a hero play in this game that will cost your team the game, especially early. If you fall behind late, then it is what it is. But early in this game, you don't want to try to fall behind by a bunch by throwing a critical football. Take a sack if you have to, if it's not there. Yak is going to be extremely important. This game, there's going to be full of a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and both teams are going to come out firing. So if you can get the ball to these playmakers in space early and create explosives off an end around or a screen, then that could really allow you to control this game early on with a couple explosives. And use a lot of motion for Purdy to be able to decipher the coverages in passing situations, to be able to read if it's man or zone, and to be able to find the mismatches that you want to find in the run and the pass game, which Shanahan is always so good at. That is the game plan for the 49ers. It's simple. Offensively, you play your game, and you play it through your running game, and you play it through that trade that you made for Christian McCaffrey, and you allow your passing offense to thrive through your running game. You play at the strength and to the strength of your team, and you play to the weakness of the opponent. And then on defense, you play a different style. You flip the script. You play aggressive. And you allow your greatest strength, your skill of your pass rushers, to take over this game and to sack and get after Mahomes, which is what happened in the Super Bowl that he did lose. So that is how the 49ers win Super Bowl 58. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to check out my Chiefs Super Bowl game plan for Super Bowl 58 and how they can defeat the 49ers. If you're a Niners fan, maybe go check that out so you understand how this game might look from both sides. Gronk Spike or Kittle Spike the like button. We'll see you soon in the next preview of Super Bowl 58. My Super Bowl pick video or live stream will be on Tuesday, a day early than usual, just because I want to get a nice preview out for everybody well in time for the Super Bowl. Thanks so much for watching. It's Mitch. We'll see you soon. Subscribe. Enjoy the game. Peace.